Hi, my name is Travis. This is Travis Does Kayak Fishing. Thank you so much for stopping by. I've been wanting to do this video for about a month and I just kept putting it off, trying to get more done and more done and more done. And eventually it occurred to me that I'm never going to be really done with this project. So I might as well share with you what I've got and tell you what I want to tell you about it. I consider this to be a beginner's guide to your trailer, understanding what you have, what it is, what it works, the best things you can do to make the experience easier for you, especially if you're using a smaller jet ski converted trailer. So no more chit chat, let's get into it. I'm gonna tell you what this trailer is, the parts on it, and how to use it. So starting at the back, the lights. I had to replace these. When I got this for $200 from Dave's World, has a salvage trailer. The lights were busted out. It had a jet ski on the top and such, but whatever. I changed them out with Harbor Freight lights. I think they were under $30. I'll put them right here in the video for you to see. These work great. Left, right turn signals. They work now that I've sorted out the grounding. I'll show you the issue I had there. And this left one has an underlight for the license plate. When you're backing down the ramps, that light is actually pretty helpful. I wish it had that on the other side as well. That'd be super slick. As far as the ground issue goes, it's important that you're grounded properly on the lights and the front ground that you'll see. All three of these need to be grounded appropriately to the frame. If you're not grounded appropriately, if you're not making good contact with that frame, you're not gonna have lights that work properly, and you'll have a slew of issues. You might have lights where maybe your truck lights don't work at all, neither do the tail lights when the lights are turned on. You might experience turn signals not working on them, a slew of them. Pretty much if the lights aren't working as expected, you've either got the wiring harness connected wrong or you're not grounded right. Take them off and sand it down. I painted mine with Rust-Oleum hammered black, which is why it has like that hammer texture to it that you see. It's not exactly smooth. I prefer that for the less slippage. But I had to go back, sand it down a little bit. It looks kind of nasty now, but functionality is more important. Make sure you're grounded right, make sure your lights are secured on light, and make sure your lights are waterproof. I did put an extra layer of waterproof sealant around all the seams and edges on mine just because I wanted to make sure I didn't have to mess with them. But they're not very expensive. You'll have 2 bunk boards on a trailer if they're functional, and the frame may V down or it may go straight across. Mine happens to V down. It can hold water in the bottom sometimes, but normally by the time I drive home, it's off. So looking at the side, I've got the reflectors I installed. I got them a little crooked because the trailer wasn't sitting even. Doesn't matter. This is very bright when cars are coming or I'm going at the side. It's very important to me that they see me. So I like that I have these, and I'm actually going to put another set at the front. I have eyebolts installed for my cam straps to go into. And I just drilled a hole through them with a titanium bit, and I attach these eyebolts and I go right to them. I have bunk boards that came with it. I'm actually going to attach some PVC to the top of it though. I want them moved in some in PVC so this slides up on it a little more organically. Right now it can sway a little when I'm sliding on. So you can do things like that to tailor make it. These are not shocks. Trailers don't have shocks. If trailers had shocks, they'd get ruined. Shocks are water resistant, not waterproof. So we use springs, as they call them on trailers. So my springs are good. They don't squeak or anything. If they did, I'd look at maybe greasing a little. But as long as they're not getting a lot of a squeaking and unnecessary bouncing that you shouldn't get, I wouldn't mess with your springs at all. They're normally fine in my opinion and from what I've read. I have a wheel fender on. I like this. You don't have to have them. They're not required. But if the kayak slides or a strap comes off, I like having a little bit of protection there to help me without it just wrapping. As far as my wheels go, I've got to clean up my paint job. But these are standard 12-inch 4-lug wheels. There's nothing special. You can get them for less than $100 at Walmart. I need to get another wheel and a wheel mount for my spares. You can get those to attach right to the tongue or the frame anywhere. But 4-lug and 5-lug are the 2 most common I found you'll run into for a trailer. Grease goes inside this cover here, this hub cover. You can hit it off like a rubber mallet, like knock it out, and then take a grease gun with some bearing grease and spray in there. My intention is to do it twice a year. I've got to pick one up. I plan to next weekend. One of the things I was holding off on for this video, but I just need to do it now or I'll never make this video. I've read it takes about a tube to push out all the grease. You want to insert the grease gun tip in there, put all the grease, just keep squeezing until all the old grease has come out, landed on some kind of cardboard, pickup, cloth, something, and at that point you're done. Put the cap back on it and you're ready to rock and roll. So we've got lights, the reflector, the bolt eyes, the bunk boards, the springs. We got the wheels, the 4-lug wheels that are 12-inch, interstate ready, up to 75 miles per hour, I'm told, but I'll probably go a little faster than that, and fenders. You see up here, the hardware pretty much just repeats. Bunk boards, the bunk board hardware, my Eyebolts, that if I want to use an extra strap for like longer trips, I choose to, I'll put another strap on. Okay, up here, the frame attaches to the tongue. The tongue is part of the frame, don't get it twisted. But in general, this is considered the tongue of the frame. The longer this tongue is, the easier it's gonna be for you to see the trailer behind your vehicle, especially if you have a truck like mine that's raised. So make sure you get a long tongue if you're new, it'll help. Or you can get guideposts to go on the back of a trailer. Something else I do plan to have on mine at some point, even with like LED light strips on it. Now, I got a 1,500 pound capacity third wheel. The third wheel can be raised up and down and is used to roll my trailer around and help put it on the trailer hitch. You don't have to have one of these. I see people that don't, but my trailer is pretty heavy actually with a kayak on it. Without a third wheel, it would be a lot of work. I would invest in the $30, $40 this costs you at Harbor Freight, and you don't even have to go the 1,500. This one is overkill. I promise you it's overkill for what I got going on here. I've just got a foam pad here. I want to get like a bumper to go up against and a winch mounted on here. I've got a plan to get one in the near future, but for now I've just got some extra padding. This actually isn't needed either. It's not like it touches down there, but I'm overprotective, so I've got some Velcro strips and just some pad cut to go there right now until I'm finished. But ignore that, you don't need that. All right, guys, this is the electrical connector that came with the lights. I've got it running just out the frame. The electrical tape's not needed, but the wires like hung a little loose and I didn't like that, so I wanted them together. So I just threw some tape on it. And the electrical connector that's on your vehicle, you'll connect directly to the one that's on your trailer. You don't want a lot of slack, but you want enough so that as they're turning around, this doesn't get overly loose. So if you're like me and you didn't want it dangling too much, make sure if you're tucking wire back in there, you leave yourself enough so that it's enough to move, but not enough to get tangled on stuff on the ground. These chains are super important. Don't skimp on having these. I initially wasn't going to hook them up, like I was having a fit issue, and then eventually I just had to adjust them. I had to take them out. This chain is attached to these bolts here. So by taking these bolts out, removing them, and taking my ball receiver off my tongue, this is the ball receiver where it sits on, I was able to extend my chains a little bit by moving them up a couple links, and now they attach. An important thing I'll show you when attaching is crossing over, so that if this comes undone and falls, it's not just going to drag on the ground and tangle up and pull back. It's going to keep it from turning by crossing. That crossing, it's going to catch the cables, wires. It's going to keep it from going all kinds of sideways if it comes loose. So make sure you have a crossover in that, as you'll see. Okay, as far as security on it goes, on my ball hitch handle, my lever here, I've got a lock on here I got from, I think this one's from Walmart, maybe Harbor Freight, one of the two. Not very expensive, more expensive than I thought it would be, but for what it does in the security it gives me on my trailer when I have to run in somewhere or leave it at the campsite or whatever, you know, just end of the day I'm out fishing and knowing somebody's not going to take my trailer, it's worth it. I do want to get a slightly better one that maybe doesn't have so much slack so somebody can get in there and cut it, but it's doing the job now and I'm not overly concerned with it. I feel pretty safe. So when you want to put it on the trailer, you just lift your ball receiver lever, and I'm going to use my third wheel because that's why it's here, and you see I just spin it and raise it, and I'll come right up to my ball. The standard size ball is 2-inch, so your standard size receiver is going to be 2-inch on a lot of these trailers. You can pretty much guarantee it's going to be 2-inch, but your receiver will tell you right here what it is. Okay, I've got the trailer pulled up. I'm just right over the top of the ball, right? It's not hard to be there. It's gonna roughly fall into place. You don't have to do a whole lot of worry about it. I'm just gonna hold it steady and I'm gonna lure it right on here. You can do this standing, you don't have to be sitting. I have to give it a few shakes. We're up, we're on. That latched. Put my third wheel up. and you put your trailer receiver hitch lock back on. Get it as close as you can. Now, so I've got it in there, and I'm gonna cross it over, latch it, and latch it. And you see we've got that cross right there, right? No matter how far back we go, that cross is there. If it comes loose, it's not gonna go too far to one side or another. That cross is gonna tangle and keep it tight. Now that we've got them on, we're gonna take our power, our electrical receiver, our 4-point, and we're gonna plug it right into our vehicle's receiver. And that is a ready to go trailer. We've got our hitch receiver slapped down and ready to go. We've got our third wheel pulled up out of the way. I got like a Velcro strap I'm gonna use to secure that. I don't much like him dangling, like it doesn't hurt anything, but you know, at some point he's gonna hit something to spin around. It'll just look stupid. But it is ready. If I wanted to go to the lake, I'd be ready now. Okay, the last component we have attaches to the truck. That's the ball mount hitch. I've got a 5,000 pound max capacity tongue, so it's a 500 pound tongue is what they consider it as, a V5 level. My tongue is connected directly to my truck's hitch receiver, the square port here he goes into. All right? And then I've got a lock on there so nobody can just take my receiver out and take off with that on their vehicle as well. So a fully secured trailer has a few things going for it. You've got your hitch lock, you've got your chains with the necks in them, you've got your receiver lock, you've got your electrical connection, you've got your third wheel up and out of the way, and you're secured as flat as you can be, as flat as you're allowed to be on that. You should be able to jerk this around and not get any movement. Now, if by chance you find you're having a difficult time with the hitch, getting it on there, they sell this white lithium grease. It's made for your hitch, your ball, receiver, really anything that you need on rollers, hinges, moving. I've even used this on my Kayak's rudder cables before. Ridiculously forever lasting. I use it on my truck too, as far as like the bed goes. But this will make it slide right onto the receiver if you're finding you're having issues. Older receivers, older balls, you might have issues with that. Just use some white lithium grease on your old balls and your old receivers and everything will work. Take care of your balls and your balls will work perfectly, gentlemen. Balls are really important. Keep them greased up and ready to go. Appreciate your balls. Okay. Now, why did I want a trailer? Mainly the amount of effort it takes. It's actually a little faster for me top loading. I think it's just where I had the process down, and I'm sure I'll come around to this being faster. But as far as the effort goes, it's effortless with a trailer. You don't have to bend over so much to load it up. Unloading it and loading it off the top of a car is not a hassle. This is the way to go. Okay, guys. So I'm in my driveway. I've got the trailer loaded up. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna put my hand at the bottom of the steering wheel because it's easier. When you want the trailer to go left, you'll turn left. When you want it to go right, you'll turn it right. If you're at the top, you're gonna see it and think, I wanna go left. You're gonna turn it left and go the wrong way. If I wanna go left, I need the wheel to go this way, not this way, which it would at the top if I thought left. So put your hand at the bottom, get your eyes on the trailer. If you're good, after a while, use your mirrors, but I'm telling you from a beginner standpoint, turning around and looking with the tailgate down was the magic sauce for me. When I went and practiced at the ramp, I spent about 15 minutes getting frustrated before I finally stopped using the mirrors and just turned around. Way easier. Put it into gear. I want to get my eyes on it, and I'm just going to reverse down. Now, something I didn't see in a lot of videos that I found really helped me, the pace I was going at, right? I didn't want to go at a pace that was too slow, because if you go too slow, it's real easy to get off course. If you go at a steady pace, you just kind of glide it in. Now, you're going to stop and sputter some on the first try. That's completely normal. There's nothing wrong with doing that at all. The thing you've got to know about it is you've just got to get down there. And if you get off and you start getting off course, it's not a problem. You just put it in the drive, pull forward a little bit. Go forward 10, 15 feet. Whatever angle your trailer's at is going to line up with your truck. That trailer follows you no matter the direction you go. Just pulling up like that will straighten up the trailer, and then you can reverse down back. Let me show you that again. I'm going to put the trailer in a cockamamie angle. okay? This is about to be some terrible quality video. All right, so you see how I'm reversing down and I've cut my trailer, and now he's too steep if I need him to go around that corner. I'm just gonna put it into gear. I'm gonna pull him forward. I'm gonna line my truck up straight ahead of me. That trailer lines up with my truck. When he's lined back up, take my hand off the wheel, let it straighten up, put it back into the position, and now I'm reversing back in a straight position. If I need to adjust it, I'll do it here and learn it. So if you get off, don't panic. It's not a problem. Just pull forward and straighten it up. If anybody at the ramp makes fun of you, just remember they were new at this too. So let's pull it back up and park. That's good enough because you're going back into the garage. All right, guys, that's everything I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that was what you were looking for. Hope you got some advice of some sort if that's what you were looking for. Hope you learned a tip about backing up. And the last advice I can give you as a beginner with it, don't be a dummy. You'll find you an empty ramp and practice for half an hour or more before you ever put your kayak on it and try and go to the water. You don't want to be the guy down at the ramp that's stuck there just saying, man, what I wouldn't give if I knew what I was doing. Because you don't want that guy coming up to you saying, turn it left, turn it left, turn it left, hard right. Try and figure it out some on your own before you go. Go to a non-populated ramp, have some fun with it, spend half an hour out there learning it, figure out what works for you. Just keep the tips in mind. Don't jackknife it if it starts to turn you too hard. Just straighten it up. You got this, you can do it. I'm not a very smart man. If I can do this, you can do it. Thanks for coming, guys. Y'all have a good one. Hey, while you're here, YouTube thinks you like the video on the left. I really like the playlist on the right. If you like what you're seeing, just give me that subscribe, please. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.